seems to me that one of the biggest difficulties that I have, at least, in talking about and thinking about free will and determinism, and truly trying to get my head around determinism particularly, is that the language I speak, and the language we all speak, is not deterministic. It doesn't reflect determinism or anything like it in either its vocabulary or its structure. The English language certainly, it might be different for the languages, but the English language certainly is the language of free will. It's got free will built into it. Partly at the level of the vocabulary, we've got these words like choose, decide, tempt, what else? Intend. A whole set of words which really are, which kind of position us in the garden of forking paths. We're walking through this garden full of forking paths, and at each intersection one of these words appears. We choose between this path or that path, or we can make a decision between going to the left or going to the right, or we can intend to go to the left and then be tempted by the path to the right. All these words are kind of articulating a space of which is not kind of linear. It's not like you get on the beginning and it takes you through to the end, which is what determinism would do. It throws you into this kind of labyrinth. It throws you into an apparent maze, and allows you to talk about life and the universe as if it was this maze that you're making choices about, that you're choosing paths through. And it's not only just at the level of the vocabulary either, I think. It's not just the fact that these words exist. As I say, at the level of the structure of the language, our language has got, at least our verbs, have got future tense. I'm not absolutely sure the grammatical words here, so I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that verbs have got something like future tense. So I don't just say I am walking, here I am, present continuous, here I am walking, kind of accurately describing what's going on in the universe at the moment in this place. I am walking, I am seeing a dog, I am looking at the canal. I can also describe a future somehow. I can also say, when I get to the bend up ahead, I will step off the path and go amongst those trees for a piss. I could say that. But the fact I can say that, the fact that I can offer a future like that, also offers me the opportunity to not do that thing. You know what I mean? I'm writing another path. So here I am on this path, and I'm kind of drawing another path on the map of my universe, and then acting as if I can actually step off the path and go down here. I'm going to take a piss because I took one just back there, but I'm acting as if I can do that. I'm drawing the map, or the map kind of draws itself just because these future tense verbs exist. Probably other things about language as well that's doing it. I'm sure there are. Yeah, the past doesn't seem a problem. And descriptive language in general doesn't seem a problem. I can describe the past because the past is kind of already written, isn't it? Didn't I used to say that in the opening to Mist? The past is already written, or the future, something like that. Anyway, the past is written. It's a single line that leads behind me, and there's no going back. I kind of know that. So the words about the past are fine. I can imagine subjunctive pasts. I can imagine other pasts, but I'm under no illusion that I'm making those imaginations up in the present. They don't really affect the past. But the future's not the same. And the present, as I say, this just describes what I do. Here I am standing in a wood, waiting for the wind to drop. So that's descriptive of this moment in the river. But the future is a problem, isn't it? The fact that we have this idea of a future that seems to be unwritten, and then act as if we can inhabit one or other of those futures. As I say, as if they are branches in a forking path. Not just subjunctives in the way that the past is just subjunctives. Yeah, I think if I was really going to try to be hygienic about my exploration of determinism and free will, that kind of thing, I would have to find a way of talking which excised those things. But I wouldn't use words like choice, decide, tempt, intend, and in which I would either not use the future tense at all, or find a different way to use it, which didn't imply it was suggesting possible subjunctive futures that I could then choose between. I'd probably also have to do something with the I in it, you know, the word I, because I basically implies intentional agent. It doesn't do what you say, Corey. It doesn't just describe a moment in space and time of the universe. It does something else. It implies a centre of narrative gravity which moves that narrative forward and has intentional agency, and that's no damn good, you know. So I'd have to reconfigure what I is, or just leave I out completely. That might be an easier solution. And what else? There's probably other things I'd need to do with the language as well. Well, I could do with the verb term, actually. I could do with either a verb term or a prefix or something like that, which characterise what I'm doing now, which is because it probably appears that I'm kind of meta speaking. I'm kind of meta referring to the universe, almost as if I've stepped outside the flow and I'm watching the flow and talking about it. But obviously I'm not doing that. Every word I say, every thought I have, is all part of the same thing. And but because the way language works, it does convey this illusion of being outside of the thing it describes. And when you're talking about the universe and deterministically organised linear universe like I'm just talking about, you can't do that. So I would really want a prefix or a verb tense or something like that to characterise that. I do. And at the moment there isn't one. You know, there's not like a self-reflexive description of that. I mean, you know, something like this. You know, like if you're quoting something, you do this. You do air quotes. Maybe there's like a gestural accompaniment. Maybe I could just do this gesture, which means this phrase is also in the loop. You know, this phrase is in the loop. This phrase is in the loop, in the loop, in the loop. Yeah, maybe I'll start doing that. If I do this, it means this is a recursive loop in the movement of the universe at this point. And then we're back in again. And there's the Corvids. I have